Mr. President! Thanks.
The 9 best of the worst B-movies ever. B-movies are best enjoyed with a couple of friends and a crate of some chilled ones and popcorn. I mean, they are low-budget movies with neither the resources nor the talent and skill to create something truly good. Lacking cinema screenings and top-rated list actors, these films suffer from poor acting, ridiculous and nonsensical plots, bad and stilted dialogue. And yet, sometimes they strike gold with how badly they mess up every aspect of filmmaking. Yes, of course there are several critically acclaimed B-movies, but that's a rare feat to achieve. In this video, we have curated a list of 9 B-movies so bad, they're good. Let's begin, shall we? Number 1, The Haunted Palace, 1963. This low-budget horror feature takes you on a ride with Charles Dexter Ward. Charles has inherited a palace in Arkham from one of his ancestors. Ward's ancestor Joseph Curwen had cursed the town 100 years ago as he was burned alive by the people of Arkham. Upon arriving in Arkham, he is faced with hostility from the townspeople, who believe their mutated children result from Curwen's curse. Slowly, Curwen's spirit takes control of Ward's body, and a Jekyll and Hyde-type internal war begins. While Curwen is hell-bent on taking revenge, Ward tries to fight off being used as a medium for evil. The Haunted Palace begins as a ghost story and revenge thriller, and halfway through morphs into a monster movie as well. Vincent Price takes the cake with his spectacular acting as Ward and Curwen. Although a plot hole pile up, this haunted house horror is brimming with so many horror tropes that one could make a drinking game out of it. Taking every trope to 11, The Haunted Palace boasts a haunted castle, a vaguely satanic character who endangers women, 2 instances of angry village mobs, all-encompassing blue mist, ominous crashes of lightning, unexplained creatures and satanic rituals, and people with haunting mutations brought to life with somewhat shoddy makeup effects. Before we go forward into our list, please consider subscribing to us. It may be a small click from you, but it goes a long way for us. Let's continue. Number 2, House on Haunted Hill, 1999. An eccentric amusement park mogul, Stephen Price, throws a Halloween birthday bash for his spoiled trophy wife Evelyn in a supposedly haunted burned-down mental asylum. The 5 guests who show up for the party aren't on either spouse's guest list. Nevertheless, Stephen continues with the party. All guests who manage to stay within the house and survive till the morning will receive $1 million from him. More so, if anyone forfeits, their prize gets added to the pool for other survivors. The guests start roaming the halls of the mental asylum, unaware of the ghosts of the patients killed there and that of the doctor who tortured them incessantly. Amidst the guests' merrimacking, the security gates are tripped. The guests are locked in this haunted house for the night with seemingly no escape. As people start dying one by one and sinister motives of some of the party guests come to light, this birthday bash becomes deadlier and bloodier. House on Haunted Hill has no interest in setting a mood and creating a slow build-up to the scare. No, it starts off at 100 and never dials it down. In the flashback opening sequence, we are immediately faced with a doctor operating on a patient's stomach without anesthesia, which is followed minutes later by another man being stabbed to death with a pencil that penetrates through the skin and emerges out the other side. While it may not be one of the scariest films ever made, House on Haunted Hill commits to grossing you out with its bloody massacre-like deaths. It will leave you anticipating yet dreading every moment as something truly disgusting could pop up on the screen at any time during the movie's runtime.
I've always wanted you.
Number 3, Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead, 2006. At the end of his first semester in college, Arby finds out that his girlfriend is now a liberal lesbian with a girlfriend, Mickey. Mickey and Wendy are protesting American Chicken Bunker, a mega-conglomerate fast food joint. Out of spite, Arby gets a minimum wage job at a CB. This CB joint was built on a leveled Native American burial ground and had been dumped with truckloads of toxic waste. The owner of a CB, General Leroy, is a stereotypical greedy businessman. His neglect and uncaring business practices lead to unnatural forces taking possession of the chicken and those who eat it. The survivors must race against time to save themselves from turning into chicken zombies. This musical horror comedy will make you laugh, gasp in affront, and wince in disgust with its frequent use of bodily fluids. Going above and beyond to make fun of fast food companies, Poultrygeist doesn't spare anyone, constantly trying to offend somebody, from meat eaters to meat haters, Native Americans, people with special needs, and even chicken lovers. This low-budget musical has a score that will get stuck in your head. Poultrygeist talks about our ugly fast food culture with musical numbers, crude jokes, and tons of diarrhea, of chuck and blood. Number 4, The Toxic Avenger, 1984. Melvin, a social misfit, works at Trumaville Health Club as a mop boy. Melvin is a meek and naive boy who constantly finds himself as the butt end of 4 club members' practical jokes. During one of their notoriously ugly pranks, Bozo, Slug, Wanda, and Julie trick Melvin into wearing a tutu and hugging a sheep amorously. Melvin falls from a second-story window into a drum of toxic waste and is immediately set on fire. In a light, Melvin runs to his house and, upon dousing himself in the bathtub, realizes the toxic waste has altered his body permanently. He is now hideously deformed but has also gained superhuman size and strength. As Mop Boy Melvin transforms into superhero Toxic Avenger, there are deadly and comical consequences for the goons of Trumaville. Toxic Avenger is one of Troma's most hysterically violent films. Known for its absurdity, Toxic Avenger had garnered a cult status with its spoof Hulk-like protagonist. Cruddy, primal, and extremely violent, this superhero black comedy is perfect for those who want to regress into their adolescent minds and just have a good laugh. The Toxic Avenger has a maniacally ridiculous sense of humor as he disposes of the evildoers of Trumaville in ingenious creative ways. Toxic Avenger is the perfect blend of gory, comedic, and brilliant. Number 5, Samurai Cop, 1991. Yakuza gang Katana is taking over the drug, gambling, and prostitution trade in Los Angeles. The LAPD transfers in a samurai cop from SDPD to help deal with the problem. Detective Joe Marshall has received training from masters in Japan in the way of the sword and the Bushido Code of Conduct. As Joe and his partner Officer Frank Washington keep trying to get Katana's secrets, the strict Bushido Code is enforced by Katana boss Fuji Fujiyama and his equally lethal right-hand man Yamashita. As Joe pursues the case, he falls for Fuji's girlfriend Jennifer and eventually ends up in a sword battle after several men on both sides lose their lives. Samurai Cop is a glorious mess from start to finish. A badly made Lethal Weapon knockoff. Samurai Cop is so bad it goes beyond 0 and somehow makes it back around to 10 all thanks to its atrociousness. From acting, writing, direction, editing, to even lighting, everything is done in a haphazard and poor manner. There are fast-forwarded action sequences to make them seem more exciting. The titular cop constantly switching between his natural flowy locks and a lady's wig with curls and everything, and the same extras dying again, and again, and again. Number 6, Fateful Findings, 2013.
Dylan, need something?
A young Dylan discovers a magical black stone in the woods with his friend Lee. Soon after, they are separated, and Dylan doesn't see her for years. As an adult, Dylan has now become an acclaimed sci-fi novelist and computer scientist. He has been hacking into the most covert government and corporate secrets. His plan to publish all the secrets he has uncovered and expose is constantly under threat as his relationship with his drug addict girlfriend deteriorates, and he is reunited with Lee. Several attempts are made to keep him from spilling these secrets, which he thwarts using the mystical powers granted to him by the stone. Fateful Findings is barely a film, with its numerous disconnected, disjointed, and constantly forgotten plot lines, unnatural acting, stilted dialogue, and poor production. It is a one-man show where frontman Neil Breen has done everything except play all characters in the film. He is the director, producer, actor, writer, editor, and even makeup artist and set designer. There's no way to describe the bizarreness of Fateful Findings, except to say it looks like a film made by someone who has never even watched a film. If nothing else, Fateful Findings is a master class in everything you shouldn't do while making a movie. In ticking all the wrong boxes, it somehow becomes so bad it's good. Number 7, Captain America 1990.
Mr. President! Thanks.
An earlier take on Captain America's origin story, This 1990 version follows a patriotic American soldier with polio as he undergoes a scientific experiment to become the super soldier, Captain America, with a backdrop of World War II. Soon after his transformation, Captain America rushes to Nazi Germany with insufficient training to take down another superhuman, Red Skull. While he manages to sabotage Red Skull's rockets, he ends up frozen in Alaskan ice until the 1990s. He reawakens to a whole new world and again faces Red Skull as his nemesis. Do you remember Captain America the First Avenger and Captain America Winter Soldier? Well, everything it took 2 films to do in the 2000s, Captain America 1990 tried to achieve in 1 film. The result? A mess of a plot with too much happening in too little time. This 1990 Captain America has none of the charm Chris Evans has. The Red Skull isn't even red after the first 15 minutes of the movie, and the fight sequences are underwhelming. So what does this 1990 version do right? Absolutely nothing.
Speak for yourself.
If you want to watch how badly Captain America can be butchered on screen, this film is it. Number 8, Chopping Mall, 1986. A group of 8 teenagers get together for a late-night party at one of the stores in Park Plaza Mall. Park Plaza has recently installed a state-of-the-art security system, including security shutters across all exits and 3 high-tech security robots. A lightning storm strikes the mall. In the aftermath, the computer controlling the robots is damaged, and the mall goes into lockdown. As the robots embark on their nightly patrol, the 8 teenagers are targeted as intruders. Running and fighting for their lives, these teens need to be clever since they can only use store supplies to defend themselves against the robots. The night becomes exciting in a whole other way as the teens and the robots try eliminating each other before the night ends. Chopping Mall will surely appeal to lovers of 80s cheese. It has a nostalgic charm with its small setting and teenagers stuck in a horrific setting who have to save themselves as not a single adult is in the vicinity. Chopping Mall is chock full of humor, carnage, female nudity, and horror and sci-fi movie references. With creative DIY explosive devices, polite laser shooting killer robots, teen girls burning alive, and an exploding head, Chopping Mall has a lot to show for itself. Number 9, The Sinister Urge, 1960. The Sinister Urge focuses on the world of pornography. Young, scantily clad women keep showing up dead at locations across the city. Police Lieutenant Matt Carson and Sergeant Trandy Stone believe these murders to be associated with the local smut picture racket. We delve deep into the world of the 60s adult film industry. Young girls with stars in their eyes and a dream to become an actress are tricked into performing in adult films. And once they gain enough intel to become a problem for the porn syndicate's leader, they are disposed of by a hired killer. As the police connect the dots to these murders, the killer finally trips and leaves a clue at a murder scene. While it takes a moralistic stance on the adult entertainment industry, the film also ironically exploits adult content to titillate its audience. Wood's last project before he moved on to the adult film industry, The Sinister Urge is a sort of bridge between his bizarre low-budget spectacles and his future adult film career.
This is hilarious. You gotta see this.
That was all in this video. Do hang around for more awesome content on similar tropes. Stay safe and have a good one.